Some spirits haunt a place with sorrow, others with rage. But what if a spirit wasn't just a lingering soul? What if it was something darker? This is the story of the Sally House, a seemingly ordinary home in Atchison, Kansas, that has terrified all who set foot inside. A house where shadows move on their own, where invisible hands scratch and burn, where toys come to life, and where an unseen presence watches from the darkness. Is it the ghost of a little girl named Sally? Or is something else lurking inside? Something waiting? Let's begin. The house was built in the mid-1800s, a simple brick structure with no signs of the horror it would later hold. It was once the home of Dr. Charles Finney, a respected physician who ran his practice from within these very walls. But according to legend, one fateful day, a desperate mother arrived at his doorstep, carrying her 6-year-old daughter, Sally. The girl was in excruciating pain, her stomach swollen, a clear sign of acute appendicitis. There was no time to waste. Without anesthesia, without preparation, Dr. Finney performed emergency surgery on the girl, right there on the table. But Sally woke up mid-surgery. Her screams filled the house as the doctor continued to cut, trying to remove her appendix. But it was too late. Sally's small body convulsed, her cries turned to gasps, and in minutes, she was dead. The house had claimed its first soul, and it wouldn't be the last. For decades, the house sat quietly. People lived there, came and went. But in the 1990s, the Taylor family moved in, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. At first, everything seemed normal, but then the disturbances began. Small things at first, keys disappearing, lights flickering, unexplained noises. But then it got worse. One night, Tony Taylor, the father, woke up gasping for air, as if someone was pressing down on his chest. Invisible hands. Then the scratches started. Long, burning claw marks appeared on his arms, his back. 3 deep scratches, always in sets of 3. And then came Sally. Deborah Taylor, Tony's wife, began noticing something strange. Their baby's toys would turn on by themselves. The rocking chair in the nursery would move when no one was there. And then she saw her, a little girl, no older than 6, wearing a white dress. Dark curls framing her pale face. She called herself Sally. At first, she seemed innocent, playful. She would knock things over, giggle from the shadows, tug on Deborah's clothes. But Sally didn't like Tony, and Tony was being attacked. The scratches became more violent. One night, as Tony stood in the kitchen, he felt something burning on his chest. He ran to the mirror, lifted his shirt, and watched as fresh scratches appeared before his eyes. Deep, red gashes, as if something invisible was clawing into his flesh. And then the nightmares started. Visions of a girl's face twisting into something monstrous. The feeling of cold hands grabbing his ankles as he slept. The sound of whispers, low, guttural, not human. Sally was no longer a little girl. Sally had become something else. Word of the haunting spread, and soon paranormal investigators arrived. Cameras were set up. EVP, electronic voice phenomena. Recordings were taken. And the results, terrifying. Voices calling out from the static. Shadows moving in locked rooms. One investigator, standing alone in the house, suddenly collapsed, choking, gasping. He swore he felt fingers wrapping around his throat. And then, the worst discovery of all. A psychic visiting the house claimed that Sally was never real, that whatever was haunting the house had never been human, that it was something demonic. The attacks on Tony became unbearable. He was scratched daily. Objects flew across the room. The house shook with unseen energy. One night, as the couple lay in bed, they heard it, a low growl. Not from an animal, from inside the room. They ran. They never came back. The house stood empty again. But whatever lurked inside, it was still waiting. The Sally house is still there, still watching, Visitors brave enough to enter report cold spots that follow them from room to room, scratches appearing on their skin, burning for hours, disembodied voices whispering their names, toys turning on by themselves with no batteries inside. Some say Sally is a trapped spirit playing with those who visit. Others say Sally never existed, that the house is feeding off those who enter, that it's hungry, and if you ever step inside, if you ever hear a giggle in the dark,